Todd, you said this would be a big test. What do you take out of the loss?
Look, I'm disappointed that we didn't fire our best shot. We also weren't allowed to at different stages, but completing at 58% is not good enough to keep in the competition. But in saying that, we really enjoyed some of our defensive periods. Showed some real desperation and resilience, and we made 100 and odd more tackles, 105 or something like that. Had guys, Ruse made 63 tackles, Mai made 51 or 2, Robbo made 50. There was a period in that first half, they had 30 plays on our try line, turned them away. In total, I think they had 50 to 21 plays inside or on a try line. And we just, looked comfortable for the most part defending.
You said you had a game plan, an idea of how to get to Penrith. Do you feel like you could get to that tonight? Or
no, well, I thought in that first half, I think we're down 12-0. We got a couple of sets in their end, and we're just immature with what we did. We turned the ball over. We kicked on tackle 3. We got a repeat set or a ruck infringement and went over the sideline on play 2. There was a forced offload, which against the good teams you need time and patience, and that's through lack of a bit of scoreboard pressure and a little bit of fatigue.
So when you look back on this, I know it's just happened, but how far, looking at the team that's the benchmark and where you guys are at?
I walk away knowing that we can beat them if we get our fair share of possession. There was periods where moments in that first half where I thought we really worried them with the ball, but just couldn't find the patience or the last pass.
I think you said you weren't allowed, at one point earlier you said sometimes we weren't allowed to fire our best shots. What did you mean by that?
Well, I'm talking about the back end of the game there. We had, maybe 3-4 sets, about 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, and they were just full of running, So we weren't playing at speed and they were defending at speed, and that along with the way that they just put us in the corners set after set. I only think they had 2 or 3 errors, so they're the 2 parts that I mean by that.
Shaq, how far off do you think you are? Not many teams can repel them for 28 straight tackles and hold 6 second half points and get possession.
Yeah, I definitely think we're closer than people think. Our defensive effort tonight was something I think we should be proud of, especially that second half. To let 6 points in one half of football against Penrith in Penrith, I think is a pretty good result for us. But like Toddy said, I think over the course of the whole game, when you got multiple guys making over 50 tackles, it's kind of an indicator where your team's making too many tackles, and you lose that gas for your attack. So when you got those stats, it's very hard.
So just say you walk away knowing you can beat them. Did you think your side could defend that well against Penrith? Like, you almost, I think you lose much 22, but you're almost more impressed by the defence than what you thought you might have been tonight?
Yeah, you've not been watching us for the past 7 weeks. We've been defending our line pretty well, and we've been defending most parts of the field well. The difference being tonight, we just turned the ball over and they built pressure with repeat sets, but we just keep turning up, which pleases me as a coach, which, I know we're heading in the right direction, and there's some real belief and desire in that group that they want to keep turning up.
I guess what I mean by that, though, is like, you can say 22, but is that almost like one of your best defensive performances given the amount of ball you propelled on their line?
I thought we defended pretty well down in Canberra. In that first 25 minutes at Darwin, we defended our line for the most part of that. But we took our opportunities with the ball when we had them, and that's what we didn't do tonight.
Well, that folks at least will turn to Origin now. Jeremiah and Ruben done enough for you to be in the Queensland team?
Yeah, I don't know what Rubes will tackle the goalposts if it means stopping the try. Yeah, absolutely. You know, his leg speed's a real threat too through the middle. You know, he's not a big body, but what he has is speed. He possesses a pass. Yeah, and I think, you know, if Billy wants to build a team on effort, then he's going to lead that. He won't let him down. Meyer, you know, he's an elite kid, still growing. And I think tonight was a real lesson for him. You know, 50 tackles for a 19-year-old kid. He was tired. That'll put him in good stead for Origin if he gets caught up.
I think Scott Drinkwater maybe come off late in the game after that last shot. How is he?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, chirpy. Yeah, it's fine.
Just Origin's already confident that you'll be able to handle it if you lose a few. Just in this next few weeks period.
Yeah, well, we've only got the one game where it affects us this week against the Titans. You know, from there on in, guys will have to back up. We'll have 6 or 7 in consideration. We've got some really good players that haven't played first grade. We've only used 20 at the moment. All of our guys got a taste of first grade last year in our first grade squad, and I think that's going to hold us in good stead through this little period.
You and Ruben and Jeremiah, was Val will be there obviously, but
Yeah, I think I agree exactly with what Toddy said. I think, you know, they've both shown that they'll be able to handle. I think, you know, some of the highlights that the guys have produced so far this season have been nothing short of incredible. I think I agree with Toddy in the fact that Rubes is made for it. The type of person he is, the amount of time he puts into his game, the effort, he won't let the jersey down, and Jeremiah's just a freak, and he'll definitely handle it as well.
Thanks, guys.
Right.